I was 17 when I had my first panic attack. I was in a pizza parlour and all of a sudden I felt like I was plugged into an electric shock, bolted this electricity and fear and adrenaline vaulted all through my body, and my heart was beating. I was terrified. I thought, I've got to get away from here, I've got to get away, but I didn't know why I was feeling it. And so I just made an excuse, and off I walked, and I walked it off. And I thought, if that ever happens to me again in my life, I'm going to, I just hope, I pray it never does, because I thought I'd gone mad. And I thought, because of having seen mental illness in my childhood, and having gone to visit someone in a mental health, well, it was a mental hospital at the time, I was just terrified someone was going to see that I was completely abnormal, that there was something wrong with me. They were going to ask what was wrong. I didn't know. There was nothing chasing me. There was no reason to be utterly terrified. And then they would just lock me up, put a straight jacket on me, and put me in a padded cell, and I'd have to live in a state of high terror forever. So it passed. I went home and I laid on my bed, and I was very exhausted afterwards, because now I know if you've had a major panic attack, it's like, you've run miles in your body. Your body's made enough adrenaline to send you you're exhausted, and I was exhausted, and I lay down and I went to sleep. It was before I had children, and I woke up and I thought, what if those feelings come back again? What if those feelings come back? And then they did. Of course they did. And I thought, oh shit, oh no, I've got to hide this. I've got to hide it. There's no way I'm going to a mental hospital. There's no way I'm going to be locked up. I was utterly terrified that anyone would realise. But I cut as much out of my life as was possible to do. I didn't drive. I didn't have any children. I sort of lost school friends. I had no ambition. I had no job. It's close to my family in a way, but so I stopped going out. It'd be worse to go mad when I'm out, because if I go mad when I'm out, everyone will see, and I'll have to be carted off in an ambulance in public, and so that can't happen. So my appetite went, because I was obviously too churned up to eat, and I lost a lot of weight, and everyone said, oh, Loretta's slimmed down, or Loretta looks, she's really fine down, and it was praise. So I didn't, mind too much about that. I was too exhausted and terrorized to be hungry. I was vigilant about hiding. So I spoke very calmly. I disguised things by laughing my head off and being silly. The more active I could be, so I just cleaned things. I cleaned the house. I don't know what else I did really, until I had to go to Hobart to visit a friend, and her dad came to pick me up, and we drove back with him. And all I could think was, what if I go mad and I have to interrupt this man with his driving, and he'll have to call an ambulance, or he'll be so horrified and disgusted in me, he'll say, what is wrong with you, and kick me out of the car. So I thought to myself, if I just focus on the windscreen and look out the windscreen and concentrate on getting to the destination rather than looking around, and I just did that until I got there. Now, the fact that I can sit on a beach today somewhere in an open space where I thought, if the madness comes, I'm not protected, I'm here in an open space, So here I am talking about it. I don't feel panicked by the word panic. I do still suffer from anxiety, and I do get flickers of panic, but the difference is I know that you don't go to a mental hospital just because you're not experiencing a normal physical, emotional condition. It's it's definitely your body saying, you're overwrought, you've got too much going on, here I am in overload. Take time, slow down, work out what's stressing you, and give yourself a break. So I know that. I know that my biggest fear of being panicked in a public place was to do with what if I'm vulnerable. If I'm panicked, I'm not on the ball, and I've got to be on guard. I've got to watch out. I've got to be vigilant, because something might happen to me, because of domestic violence and other violence in my life. I thought I had to be constantly on guard, and I don't. And I know that if I were to fall over in a public place, if things got too much, there is not one person in the world who will say, "Can I give you a hand?" It's okay. See, those things people say to me, I've never said them to myself. So I'm learning self-talk. I'm rewriting the script. I'm narrating my own script. So it's all right, Rita. It's okay. It's okay. And it nearly brings tears to my eyes because it's so new. But the fact that it's new means I can start now, and I can't deviate from the path of like sitting in that car. Just it's not just the destination; it's how you travel. In fact, the destination has very little to do with anything. I think my nose is running. Anyway, it's going to get dark, as you can see. I'm on the beach. Millie's been most. She's been fabulous. I'm going to talk more about panic attacks, and I mean getting to the point of sitting here. I mean, I spent 18 months in my house without looking out a window. I've crawled on the tables. Really locked myself away. I've treated myself as if I was a mad mental patient, not fit to be around. No one else